Okay, I'm going to do a couple problems from the book so I can show you how to use the calculator. One of the things you might notice is that when they're looking for these probabilities, they're telling you that it's a z. The z is just an indication that your mean is 0 and your standard deviation or your variance is 1. So when you see z, it's kind of like, oh, I'm in a standard normal curve. Okay, so let's look at question number 2b. I want to find the area under the normal curve between 0.5 and 1.5 standard deviations from the mean. So you're going to come over here. You're going to hit your second key and then vars. So that gives us all our distributions. The first two are normal. We're not going to use normal PDF ever. We're only going to use normal CDF. And it's going to ask us for a lower limit and an upper limit. So in this case, our lower limit was 0.5. Our upper limit was positive 1.5. Our mean is 0 and our standard deviation is 1. That's the default that the calculator uses, which happens to match what we want. So we're just going to hit enter. And the answer is about 24%. 0.241 or 242 is the area under the curve, which corresponds to the percent. Okay, let's look at number 5, C and E. Okay, so we're going to look at 5C and E. So there we go. Now, one of the things I want to point out is this has a less than, this has a less than or equal to, and this is just, greater than or equal to, and this is just greater than next to it. That does not change the problem, because if you think about what's the area at a number, what's the area at 1.8? It's 0. So having the equal to bar does not change what we do with normal distributions. Okay, so to do C, we want the probability Z is greater than or equal to 1.8. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to go second, vars, normal CDF. This time my lower limit is 1.8. And I want my upper limit to be big enough that I catch everything that's possibly to the right. So I'm going to make it super big just to be safe. And again, the mean is 0, standard deviation is 1. And the answer is about 3%, 3.5% is the probability that Z is greater than or equal to 1.8. Okay. All right, let's do one more. So now we're going to look at the one where Z is less than or equal to negative 0.28. So I'm going to go back to second vars. Second vars. Let's clear this. Second vars, normal CDF. This time the lower limit, again, I want to make sure I get everything below negative 0.28. So I'm going to put in a really small number, negative with a whole bunch of zeros. My upper limit would be negative 0.28, 0 and 1. So, and that probability is about 38%. Okay. So if you look at the graph, think about what the graph's doing. Here's 0, here's 1, here's 2. So the first one was 1.8. So above that was about 3%. And then the next one was negative 0.28. Well, here's negative 1. So negative 0.28 is like right about here. So all of this below here is about, what did we say, 38%. Okay? All right, that's using the calculator.